I'll tell you what, at least, like, Clover keeps giving me some content to talk about, because sometimes we do get those episodes which are like, oh, this is the only canon part of the bit of story. Bye! Okay, so I know, like, immediately and all that, a lot of people are kind of going expecting, oh my god, here we go, fucking filler again. However, in the defense of it, I will say that at least in all that this was an enjoyable episode, that it was giving some development for Asta and Yuno. I even said it as well last week, that this is one of the issues I had with Chapter 2, was the fact that they just didn't give any time at all to Asta and Yuno's training. It was just like a little tiny bit of text saying, yeah, they trained, and this is how come they're this strong this now. And I appreciate seeing that. However, though, like, I think there are a lot of people that are going to be quite upset about this episode, mainly for the fact that the first minute or so is the only canon part of the entire episode, and we're not even at Chapter 2 yet, in 3 episodes. That's kind of nutty to me, but unfortunately as well, I do have a reason as well why this is going to be the case, I feel. So I'm going to be one of the first people as well. It's like, I normally don't care for filler in shows at all. Like, it normally does my head in. I understand why it has to exist, because obviously and all that, you have, like, if it's a popular show or something like that, if you've got a big, long, ongoing show and it has to keep happening, then yes, they'll put it in there. The one thing, though, I'm a little bit iffy with a lot of the time, though, it's like when it's got to be, like, really, like, forced in there, or whether or not it's, like, really bad that it's good, or just enjoyable, good stuff. Like, we've had the stuff before where Noragami's, like, ending was really goddamn good, and it was filler. This was stuff like, you know, like, a few sketches that came from the author, and I believe Tabata is giving some of this as well, from, like, a bunch of the sketches saying, oh, we plan to go through this and stuff, but it just didn't happen in the manga. Like, I'm guessing that's where some of the stuff, because a lot of it heavily focused on Asta and Yuno training and getting ready for the Royal Knights exam. Like, they were getting ready. You know, that's the kind of stuff I've been looking forward to ever since the show's announcement, where, like, I feel like the show, and especially even, well, the manga, it helps a lot when it isn't just the Asta and the Yuno show, it isn't just these two characters. It does help that the show is kind of giving them a little bit more development than how it was in the manga, because it was just like, oh, I'm a rival, just the reasons, I guess, and all that, I just want to be better than you. And here it's helping, but then again, like, I feel like one thing that helps Clover in the advantage is that it has such a really goddamn enjoyable cast, and I want to see them. I want to see the Black Bulls, I want to see Yami, I want to see all these characters I've been looking forward to, and they're just holding out on them a little bit more and all that until next week, which, I don't know, like, I still feel weird the fact that, like, we got a bit of Chapter 1, and that was pretty much it for this entire, like, whole episode on, like, this whole focusing on Asta and Yuno training. It was weird in that case, and, like, also as well, one thing just to add and all that, like, I didn't realize how far away, like, Asta and Yuno's village is away from the kingdom itself, because they had to, like, cross a forest, a mountains, a fucking, like, a desert. They're crossing all of this. Is like, are they, like, just on the fucking other side of the country at this point? Like, these two kids and all that. I know it was 6 months. I didn't realize, like, they spent 6 months just fucking walking to the destination. Like, how fucking far is it, like, coming to these two places? It's really fucking weird. But when we talk about more about why they're doing this, like, why are they throwing all of this filler in front of, like, people's face immediately, it's mainly for the fact is, like, you've got the two scenarios here. Are you either A, gonna do, like, what One Piece does? Are you just gonna have one canon chapter an episode, and it fucking drags in the anime, like, unless they've got to add filler or half a chapter? Are you gonna do the academia thing where they kind of like the same thing? Clover did the same thing as well, where it's like, you're gonna have the first 2 episodes, like, it's gonna be the first chapter, and they're gonna focus mainly on that. And, like, I think it helps a little bit more with academia, because it's just going to be 12 to 24 slots, I think, where Clover, it's like, we're going 51, this is how many chapters we got, we're ending it right here. And I really think the fact is that they're trying to front throw all of this immediately. Is that when it gets to the good stuff, when we get to, like, the dungeons, when we get to, like, the stuff that we want to see, it's going to go by fast and it's going to be awesome. I mean, is this truly going to work? Like, if we think of that, because you're already costing viewership, like, already. Like, I feel like seeing a lot of comments and seeing a lot of people that are like, I wanted to give this show a chance, but it's not following. A lot of people really would rather just follow a show if it's being faithful, and a lot of people, even if it's like the filler's decent or not, they're not going to stick around to see that stuff, because that's just how it is not for the most part. People sometimes want a faithful adaptation, and that is always what Studio Period's going to do. I feel like at the end of the day, every show they're going to do at this point is either going to have some filler or it's going to have some changes, I still retain to the fact that I think the show looks really nice. I think like that's the one thing that like consistently I've seen so far is that the show just still looks gorgeous. The art looks really nice. It's consistent, beautiful animation, and I really hope that what I'm thinking that is right, where I think that they're holding out. So, like, when it gets to that point, it's going to be awesome. But then, it's like, as well, we've still got that filler, like, little light novel stuff to go through as well, if we're going to go future on with the Witches arc, which I've already talked about on Twitter as well, that we are probably going to be having 10.5 volumes of this material. We're going to have a pretty hefty amount. That's majority of the entire manga right now, so I believe there's about 12 to 13 volumes out right now as the recording of this video, so we're going to be going from most of the material, but throughout an entire year's worth and all that's going to help, because that's already half of the manga that we're going to be like covering right there. How I just feel like there's going to be slight issue, like how it's honestly going to be working, because like we're going to be going through this, and that's why I feel like the first opening doesn't show a lot of anything, because I think they knew from the start that they are just going to be taking this slow and they're going to be dragging it out, and I'm really thinking that this is just not going to help in the long run, but that like I just think it's going to kill viewership for the series, and I'd hate to see that already. And it's just questions like, if you know it's going to happen, then which way, like what would you rather choose? Would you rather get it all in front of you, out of the way in the first place, or would you rather have it in the middle somewhere? Like, would you rather just have like Naruto Hell, where you just get a ton of canon episodes and it's awesome, or Bleach, like where you just get a ton of canon episodes and they're fucking great, but then you're stuck in like a year or two of filler hell and it's just unbearable. Like I feel like there's no real way of escaping this, and this is the problem, and I hate the fact that it has to be in this show, which I care about. Plus, I am biased, because I really do want to see the Bulls. I really want to see Yami, I want to see Magna, I want to see Luck, I want to see Vanessa, I want to see Charmy, I want to see Grey, I want to see all the Clovers that I love. I want to see them. They do tease them slightly. They tease mainly from what we get to see Yami and Noelle, and like a few of the other like throw-off characters that we get to see in like chapter 2. But regardless, I want to see them, because I feel like that's what makes this show so special right now for me. But overall, I think it was a fine episode. I did enjoy it, but I'm there to see what people think. Do you think that like this is the reason they're doing this? Because we're gonna get to like the dungeon arc, we're gonna get stuff to like Mars, we're gonna get like the witch arc, and it's gonna be amazing. They're just gonna go chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter to chapter. Like, is it just gonna blow by like that? I really want to know what you guys think about that. And do you think this is gonna, like, unfortunately this is gonna affect the entire show, or do you think it's gonna be the early half? Like, I think like it's scary to think that I think the first 12 episodes are probably going to be the ones that are affected the most by this, and then after that, I think it's going to be a smooth ride. We'll only have to wait and see and all that, but overall, I think it was a good episode. It wasn't amazing, but I still did enjoy, like, there were some great little parts and all that, like we've seen with, like, Asta training in the woods and all that, and getting stronger. Same thing with Yuno. You can see the rivalry building between these two characters. If we do have one thing to mention, though, I will say more about his voice actor, is that he is fine when he's not screaming. That's the only time when he's like, I'm seeing like one part where he's like chopping at a tree and he's talking normally, but the second he like starts like screaming and going like he sounds like a fucking car engine starting up. He sounds like a really shitty version of what like Whitebeard's it sounds like. That's what he sounds like. So it's like, just stop shouting, stop raising your voice. Which is he should be, you know, he should just be more monotone like him. Like, that's honestly how he should do. But in general, I enjoyed the episode, but I can already see that this is going to affect the show's viewership greatly, and I think a lot of people are already dropping it at the third episode where like, no, I'm done, I'm not checking any more of this. So I worry for the future of this series already, and that's not what I want to be thinking at the third ever. I should just be like excited as fuck, but no, I'm thinking all this other side yet, and I just want to enjoy the series for what it is. But let's hope now. I'm looking forward to episode 4 mainly. I get to see the balls finally, so I'm looking forward to that. That's all from me though, so thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.